a viewer's question on how to strengthen legs while going downstairs. Make sure if you catch this live and you have other questions that you put them in the comment box and I will make sure to answer them at the end. If you're catching the replay, still put your questions in the comments and I will get to them as soon as possible. You might even get your very own live to answer your specific question. We'll see. It depends on how much time there is in a day, right? Okay, so let's get into it. What is the question here? Okay, so the viewer's question is, can you do a video for how to help strengthen legs going downstairs? My child preferentially uses one leg to go down. Now, this viewer did not specify which leg the kid uses to go down. So I'm going to give you guys a background of what causes this, what we are looking for, and also talk through both legs. So it doesn't really matter which leg your child uses to go down the stairs, that you have all of the answer. Hi, I'm Dr. Lauren Baker, and on this channel, we help people. I always have to redo this intro a couple times, but basically this is going to be a mini masterclass for proactive parents and providers to help you guys help your children move better. I feel like I just got into my recording vibe. So let's head over to my fancy behind the scenes scene. And okay, so you guys can kind of see my fun setup here. I got my coffee because it's morning and it's Monday and we need that right now. Okay, so we are going to talk through, and I got to make sure that it sees me. So let's see, it is following me. Okay, cool. So there's a couple of different things you want to keep in mind if a child is only using one leg going down the stairs. By 3.5, we want to start seeing, while holding on to the railing and also without holding on to the railing, children use 1 foot on each step going up the stairs as well as going down the stairs. Some children might show that a little bit earlier. That is fine. The biggest thing is at that 3 to 4 year mark, if they are specifically only using 1 foot going up and 1 foot going down, or 1 foot on each step going up, and then a step 2 where only one is leading going down, that is going to cue you in to say, hey, something is going on with that opposite leg. Usually it's weakness. Sometimes it can be tightness in the ankle. And then sometimes it can be balance as well. So there's 3 different things we're going to talk through today to help you understand the whole picture and then also get your kiddos help. Pediatric physical therapy absolutely can help with this. You can also do exercises at home. If you're doing exercise at home after a couple weeks and you're not seeing a big amount of change, you might want to get a pediatric physical therapist in your home or go to a clinic in your town to additionally help with some of this. So, okay, we're going to talk through this now. Let me see, make sure it sees me. All right, okay, we're going down. All right, so I'm going to kind of talk you guys through this with a step stool. Now, this step stool is collapsible. I super love it, but it is a little high. So if your child is struggling with stairs, something that you can do that is super easy is find a smaller surface. So usually, especially if going down is harder, which usually it is, I have children start with a 2 to 4 inch surface. I'll show you guys a foam mat that I love after I kind of go through this background, and I'll link it in the description for you. So, okay, let's see if you can make sure. I don't know if you're going to be able to see. I'm going to have to pull you guys down a little bit. All right, bear with me. Okay, let's see how this works. Okay, now that actually seems even worse. Okay, sorry, I am trying to make sure you can see my feet, but it is only, okay, let's see if I go vertical. If you can see my feet. No, you cannot see my feet. Oh, well, thank you for bearing with me as I continue to figure out this new tech. Okay, I'm gonna turn off tracking if I know how. Give me 1 second. Ah. Okay. I think that will turn off tracking. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna switch this camera so that I can position it. Sorry guys, that was a little crazy. I haven't actually done it where my head is up, but my body is. So we'll turn this one over so you guys can fully see what's going on. This is why lives are so fun. Okay. So I don't care that you can't see my face. I care more that you can see my feet. I'm going to zoom out here real quick. Okay. So we're going to start with the right. So if I go up with the right, all of my weight is going into my right booty muscle. Pull you up a little bit. Okay, so all of my weight is going into my right booty muscle. And so I have to load this leg, push through, and push my knee straight to bring my other foot forward. When I'm going down, usually what you'll see is kids will go up with one leg, but then they will go down with the opposite leg. So they might do 1 foot on each stair going up using both legs, but going down, they're only gonna lead with one leg. If my right leg is my strong leg, that leg is gonna stay on the step because I am loading. I'm doing a single leg squat through this knee to come down. Now, a step is like 6 to 8 inches, and that is gonna be difficult to eccentrically load this leg, bring it all the way over, and then I have to reach outside of my base of support for the forward step. And I also, you guys can kind of see here, if I could turn to the side, I need a lot of angle at this ankle. So I'm going here, and in order to get my foot on the forward step, I need a lot of angle at my ankle joint that if there's tightness there, that can block. And the child might not be able to utilize that foot to their capability of like the level of their strength if the mobility in the ankle is blocking that. So again, if your right leg is your more confident leg, likely what you'll see is going up with the right and then going down with the left. Now, if your left leg is going to be your more confident leg, you will see going up with the left and going down with the right. So you need to first tease out which leg does my child use going up. If it's both, no worries. But usually the leg they use going up is going to be the opposite of the leg they use to lead going down. And so if that's the case, the leg going up is their stronger leg. So we want to first look at that. You will also see, I'm going to switch over to a different view. Now this one should be able to work. Okay. Okay. All right, guys. Oh, shoot. Now I want it in. This one's messy today. Okay, there we go. Now this is the one I wanted in. Okay. So one thing you can also do from a strengthening standpoint, as well as from a detective standpoint, is if your kid is getting up off the floor, are they able to use one knee going forward while holding a ball, or hands on the head is something I use a lot. So one leg forward, this is called the half kneeling position or the will you marry me pose. So hands on head, can they use this front leg to push up? So if a kid has strength in their right leg, so they use their right leg going up the stairs, this is going to be your first exercise. You want to see, can they get off the floor in a half kneeling position to push through? And again, you can kind of see that position is I'm pushing through this front knee to come up into standing. Can they do that on the right? If the right leg is the one leading going up, then they'll likely be able to do it on the right. But are they also able to do it on the left? If not, if they have to put their hands on the ground in order to push up, or they come over by a table or a couch in order to do the left leg come up, you're going to want to practice that, right? So the first exercise is both stationary or repetitions of getting up off the floor in that half kneeling or will you marry me pose. So you can have little activities like you're putting a puzzle together and all the puzzle pieces are on the floor, but the puzzle board is on an elevated surface. Okay, well, each puzzle piece, one at a time, you come down and then, okay, then right leg goes up and you push into standing. And they're holding the puzzle piece maybe with both hands or one hand and one hand on the head. And then you go back down, left leg goes up. If you're focusing just on one leg and one leg is consistently harder, I usually prioritize that leg. So I would have them only do, say, the left leg if the right leg was the stronger version. I would have them only do the left leg, but sometimes they get tired or they need a little bit of help. If they need help when they're in this position, you're going to help them shift their weight so that knee is going over those toes, and then you might put a hand right here at this little booty so that they can help push that hip up. So you can see here my knee goes over my toe, and then my hand's on my butt, and my butt needs to go forward and extend. So I'm pushing that pocket forward. So my hips. So I'm kind of lifting the child's butt and pushing it forward. That's only if a child needs help. If they're doing stairs on themselves by themselves, they're probably not going to need help. The other thing I really like is using this position as like a coloring or activity. If you have like a low chair seat or a low child's table, you can have them just be in this position while they're coloring. Usually I will have them at an angle so this whatever leg is front is on the side so they can still color but be in a good position where that leg kind of hits the corner of the small table or chair that they're kind of coloring, doing homework on. This is going to strengthen both hips, but mostly the hip that is down pointing to the ground, because I have to activate that glute to push my force through the ground on this back leg. So what that looks like is I have to activate this back glute and push that force down. So that is going to be really helpful. So both half kneeling to stand as repetitions, 10 to 30, both legs, or just the one leg that is the harder leg, or roughly 2 to 5 minutes of holding this position while they're coloring or doing homework or putting a puzzle together or playing a board game, things like that. So that is going to be the first exercise based on strength. Let's see if it finds me. There we go. I think it's gone. Okay. The next one is going to be based on mobility. So like we talked about with the step stool, my ankle needs to be at a so if this is my foot, this angle, that knee is over the toes. So there is a big, strong angle here. You need that both in your wrist as well as in your ankles. One of my favorite exercises to look at mobility for children as well as adults is the toddler squat. So I will pull up, I don't have a video. Actually, I have some pull to stand videos on the half kneel to stand. So I'll show you guys those in a second, and then I'll also show you the toddler squat exercise. So the toddler squat is basically this position where your toes are forward, your hips are down, and your body is up. For adults, if you have a lot of tightness in your ankles, you're gonna fall backwards and probably fall onto your bum. But what this does is it strengthens these muscles on the front of the ankle, but it also really works on that angle. So you can see that angle here from my lower leg down where my toes are kind of pointing, that it's a nice angle like at my wrist. So holding this position, playing in this position, doing a puzzle in this position, playing Uno in this position, like I love this position for 2 to 5 minutes. Now, if it's a struggle for your child in this position, then you're gonna wanna put something underneath their bum to take some of the workload out. Right now I'm having to hold my whole body and my booty in this position, but if I'm sitting on a step stool, I don't have to hold anything. And then I can start with my ankles in a 90-degree position. And then as I get more comfortable, I can start sneaking those ankles under, and that's gonna increase that angle here. So this is gonna be that second exercise that is gonna work both on the mobility of the ankles as well as the strength of the ankles, hips, upper trunk, whole body. My favorite exercise from 7 months to 99 years. Love it for everyone. Okay, let's go and show those exercises. Okay, so if you guys didn't know this trick, oh goodness, like forgot that this is pointing at the stool, not pointing at me. Sorry guys. All right, let's see. Hopefully that's better. See my head? Don't really care about my face. All right, so if you guys didn't know this trick, if you go to Dr. Lauren Baker and you're on a laptop or a computer, you have the search bar. So the first exercise, we're gonna do half kneeling. So you can see here, I don't necessarily have, like this video does go through kind of sustained half kneeling and tall kneeling. Tall kneeling is with both knees on the ground. If half kneeling, where the will you marry me pose is too difficult, then you're gonna wanna go to tall kneeling because that's gonna strengthen just both legs equally as well as the core. So we've got pediatric core and hip strengthening exercise using tall kneeling and half kneeling. And then we also have the pull to stand baby milestones. Those are obviously your kids older than the 9 to 11 months because we're not walking upstairs till like 16 to 3 years, 16 months to 3 years. 16 months more like crawling upstairs, but we're not even like doing stairs before then. Usually, unless you got a babe, that's a little exploratory, you're helping them. Usually you're not doing independent crawling upstairs till like 16 months. But every baby's a little bit different. So the pull to standing though, this exercise, so usually kids, we would have seen some asymmetry with pull to stand if they're struggling with one leg going up or down the stairs. Usually they only pulled up to stand via that half kneeling on the strong leg, on the leg that is going up the stairs. And that showed us early on that there's some asymmetrical strength in the little baby's body. Not always, but I would say 99% of the time, usually they had some indicator. Maybe they did a janky crawl where one leg is up and the other leg is down, and then the leg that they're pulling up is the one that was consistently on the floor, and then that's also the leg that they're leading with going upstairs. So you can kind of see a pattern there. So we've got the pull to standing baby milestones. That's going to help you understand like how you would support a kid. It would be the same for a baby as it would be for an older kid. They just have bigger legs, essentially. So those would be the two things. And then I have a bunch of videos on tall kneeling. They are with babies, but I do have one. This one, how to strengthen baby arms with tall kneeling on an incline toy. That one does show a toddler in tall kneeling, and so that one might be more realistic to your child's current age, depending on how old your kiddo is. So we've got those. And then we've got the toddler squat. So if I go in here and type in toddler squat, the first one is going to be me showing how you would do a toddler squat on an adult. For older kids, if they can get into that position, that's going to be the best video for you. The next one is going to be pediatric strengthening exercise using supported toddler squat progression. So that's going to show you a bunch of different ways. It is with baby Eric and not a real kiddo, but all of that's still going to be the same for you. So I would check out that one if you need to put a pillow underneath your kid's foot, or you need to do, or underneath their foot, underneath their butt. Or you want to put them on your lap so you can really work on increasing that mobility at the ankle, because they're stuck at that 90-90 position, but you can't. So they're stuck here. Oh, you can't see me. Ha. That's not, oh, this one. Okay, so they're stuck here at 90-90, but we want that knee to really go over their toes. So if my elbow's my knee, I really want to have an increased angle there, where if they're stuck here, then you're gonna wanna offload the booty, put them on your lap, put them on a couch cushion, put them on a step stool, and then sneak those ankles back. So like how I showed you earlier, where you have knees over ankles and then you bring the heels back closer to the booty, and then try to keep those ankles in that position, because that's going to work on the mobility of the ankles. All right. Then we are going to go back to one more thing I wanted to show you guys I told you about. Okay, so I have all of my stuff linked in my kits. They are linked below, but you can also go to kit.co/Dr. Lauren Baker. In my pediatric physical therapy kit, I will link this down below. You have just all my favorite stuff, especially if you're a provider. This one might be really fun for you. This balance pad is going to be a great option where you can practice stepping down off of a smaller surface, but it's a little bit wobbly, not super wobbly, a little bit wobbly, so that gives the child a little bit more challenge. What I typically do when I'm training going up and down the stairs is I specifically train strength first, balance off the stairs. So I usually let a child hold on to the railing or hold on to me while I hold on their hips, for them to practice getting that other leg to go down, even if it's a step two, but leading with the other leg. So if right leg going up is easiest, left leg going down is easiest because all that load is still on the right leg, then I'm going to practice on going up with the left while holding onto the handrail, and then going down with the right while holding onto the handrail, because I don't want to add balance challenge to something that's already difficult from a strength situation. If they're using 1 foot on each step going up, 1 foot on each step going down while holding onto the handrail, then you're going to want to hit balance a little bit harder, so that so if you're going to hit balance harder, you're going to want to work on things like single leg stance. You're going to want to work on like balanced stepping stones. I have a couple of videos coming out on balanced stepping stones. You're going to want to work on standing on uneven like ground or a wiggly cushion. Any of those things are going to help balance strategies. You're going to hit that hard. That's usually more my kids who have maybe a little bit of like low average tone or low tone, that like their balance is struggling, or kids that really have kind of caved over feet. So for those kids, oftentimes I'll get inserts in their shoes and I will practice going up and down the stairs just with shoes, because if your ankles are caved in so that the inside part of your foot is always on the ground, you're not going to be able to activate those ankle muscles to the level that you need in order to have a good base to go up and down the stairs to create that power, because going up and down the stairs is basically like a single leg squat. So you do need a good amount of activation there, and if you don't have a good base of support for your ankle, that's another thing to look into. So it is definitely a complex thing. It's definitely more complex than you probably think when you're talking about stairs, which is why I wanted to make this video, because obviously I couldn't just text all of this into a comment. And that's why on this channel you have like lots of mini master classes. Let me see. I feel like maybe I'm just moving too much. I felt like I was blurry there for a little bit. Okay, so let's just recap real quick. We've got mobility with the toddler squat exercise. We have strength with half kneeling to stand, as well as half kneeling static for 1 to 2 minutes on each leg. Half kneeling to stand 10 to 30 times. And then we have balance activities. Let me show you guys a couple of just balance activities if a child is struggling to stand on one leg. We need a child to stand on one leg for 3 to 5 seconds in order to be able to maintain their weight on their leg, step forward without falling over, without holding onto the handrail. So if your child is struggling just to stand on one leg for 3 to 5 seconds, then this is going to be an awesome activity for you. It's one of my favorites. I use it all the time. All right, let's go back over here. Okay, let's see if this works. Let's see if you can see me. Okay, so you can see me, but you can't see my feet, which is a problem. All right, let me pop this one over because I kind of thought that might be the thing, because I care more about you guys seeing my feet than I care about you seeing my body. Okay, let's see, we got this guy. Okay. So basically, when you stand on single leg stance, I want hands on hips. 1, 2, ooh, this is not even a good one for me because it's Monday morning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The other leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a really boring activity for kids. So if they are struggling, you can do things like the floor is lava. If your right foot touches the floor, then you're struggling. You could do this with shoes, without shoes. If you're going to train, if your kids, so this is what I mean too about, let's see, about if your feet, like if the inside part of your foot is really caving in, then your kids' knees might be touching, but they also might not be. So we really just can't struggle with having the ability to activate these ankles if my tibias or my knee bones are not right over this ankle, with at least the ability to put 1 to 1.5 fingers underneath my arch. So if a child's not able to stand on one foot for 3 to 5 seconds, the biggest thing I want to do is a modified single leg stance. So I'm strengthening these glute muscles, this whole leg, that this other leg is either on a step stool, cardboard box, little small 2 to 4 inch foam pad, anything. But we are standing here, maybe we are playing with suction toys on the glass wall or a window, maybe we're drawing on an easel, maybe we're throwing and catching, maybe we're just like talking to mom, maybe we're coloring at the kitchen table. Whatever it is, I want to be in this position for 2 to 5 minutes, and I want to do both sides if we're struggling going upstairs with both legs, or just the side down that is struggling with reaching. So if we're going up with our right leg and we're going down with our left leg, then I want our right leg to be up here and our left leg to be down here. If it's the opposite, then we're just gonna switch. Oh, I need to bring the camera with me. So fancy. I love that you guys just are so chill about these things, because otherwise I would not be able to answer your questions, because it takes me like 5 hours to edit a video. There's no way that I would be able to get these out as soon. So thank you so much for just being so gentle with me as we just kind of like do this in real time, right? I think for me, it's so much more important for me to get you guys the information, to the access to a pediatric physical therapist's brain, than it is for it all to like look super fancy. Okay. So that is going to be your balance exercise. I do not have an edited video of that yet, but basically anything where one foot is up on a surface, the other leg is straight, and you're spending 2 to 5 minutes there. if you have to start at like 1 minute, that's totally fine. But we do want you to be able to focus. We do want the child to be able to do it for a longer period of time because that's going to allow for more strengthening. I think I just realized I think my camera is focusing on my computer and not on my face. Whatever. We are here. We are showing up. It does not have to be perfect. Okay, if you guys have any questions, I'm going to wait for about 1 more minute and I will answer those. If not, drop them in the comments after you watch this. But I am going to put in a bunch of links so that you guys can watch those other videos if this is something you're struggling with. I did go over like right versus left pretty quickly. So if you do have questions on right versus left, which side, I would do both, first of all, but also drop it in the comments and I'll definitely help you figure out which one is going to be a little bit more helpful or a little bit more beneficial for you and your kid. But I'm super proud of you guys. Thank you so much for joining me this morning or whatever time it is when you grab the replay. And I just seriously wanted to say thank you because this channel has been so hard. I've had to really just show up in a way that I haven't before. And I really appreciate you guys taking the time to learn from me, to interact with me, and to just be here and show up for your kids to try to help them move better. It really, truly means the world to me. So, yeah. All right, guys. Well, have a good day and I will catch you later.